week of the NHL regular season is here, and several Flyers seem bound and determined to finish strong. Steve Mason put up his own force field in the Philadelphia net. Jake Voracek continues in his bid to become the first ever Flyers scoring champ. And Brayden Schenn copped league's second Star of the Week honors. As a team, they've registered points in 6 straight games, including another toppling of the rival Penguins on Sunday afternoon. Tonight, they face off with the Islanders, and the dynamic John Tavares stand 1 point from clinching a playoff spot. Three games to go for the Flyers. Jake Voracek still has an Art Ross trophy in his sights. For Ryan White and the rest of the Flyers, it's about finishing this season strong, and certainly that has been the case for this guy, Steve Mason. Spectacular months of March and so far here in April. It's the Flyers and Islanders, their final meeting of the season. And a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Flyers Hockey here on Comcast Sportsnet, along with Keith Jones. I'm Jim Jackson. Chris Therien will join us a little bit later on. And Jonesy, for the Flyers, points in 6 consecutive games now as they've gotten hot here down the stretch, and they're trying to finish this season in good fashion.
Yeah, and a tough challenge against the New York Islanders, a team that's looking to try to climb up in the Metropolitan Division. Flyers have played very well against playoff-ready teams. The Islanders, one of them. Brayden Schenn, one of the Flyer players that has really stood out of late. 6 points in his last 3 games, including the game-winning power play goal and a couple of helpers against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Schenn has played some outstanding hockey, playing the right side with Sean Couturier and Matt Reed. He has looked very comfortable there. He's also looked comfortable on the power play in the absence of Wayne Simmons. Brayden Schenn's done a good job of filling in and adding some of the offense that you miss when Simmons is out of the lineup. That's been great news for Craig Berube and the Flyers. Take a look at our star track tonight. John Tavares and Jake Voracek, 2 of the superstars in the National Hockey League. Both players fighting to win the scoring championship, and both players continue to be consistent in adding points and keeping up with the offense around the National Hockey League.
Steve Mason's spectacular surge to the finish of the season continued on Sunday as he frustrated the Penguins to the tune of 46 saves, many of them of the spectacular variety. He's climbed to 3rd in the league in save percentage, 4th in goals against average, as he's looking very much the part of a top NHL goaltender. Tonight's Flyers-Islanders game is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. The national anthem and the start of tonight's game. After these messages, tonight's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda is KBB.com's lowest cost-to-own brand over 5 years. And by Papa John's. The day after the Flyers win and score 3 or more goals, get 50% off your online order using promo code FLYERS at papajohns.com.
Our nation as we welcome to the ice, escorted by United States Navy Commander Michael Thomas, the #1 ranked entrance in the NHL, our very own Lauren Hart, as she sings the Star-Spangled Banner.
I love you more, best fans in hockey.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag
Outstanding job as always by Lauren Hart with our national anthem, and we're ready for the Flyers and Islanders. The Islanders looking for their first ever season series sweep of the Flyers. They've won the first 3 meetings, 2 of those in shootouts, but they have won the first 3. The Flyers will try to prevent that sweep here tonight.
Let's take a look at our Kia starting goaltenders. Yaroslav Halak in goal for the New York Islanders. A terrific year for Halak. He's solidified the goaltending position for the Islanders. That's got a long way in getting them back to the playoffs. Steve Mason coming off that huge victory against the Pittsburgh Penguins. All on the back of Mason's outstanding net minding. He'll look to try to get his record above 500 here against a very difficult opponent in the Islanders.
And together is Steve Mason, one of the top save percentage years in Flyers history. Halak has already set franchise records for wins for the Islanders. Again, setting the scene, the Islanders get a point out of this game. They clinch a playoff berth. They could also get in if the Ottawa Senators lose their game to Pittsburgh tonight. That game starts about a half hour from now. Jack Capuano gets ready for this one. We're underway. The Flyers in their home orange jerseys. White row jerseys for the Islanders is Nick Schultz. Starts out to center ice. The right wing feed to Braden Shen. Shen dangles his way in. Backhand save. Halak rebound. Couturier stopped by Halak. That was after Reed had fanned. Reed gets it back. And he is checked by Ryan Strome, able to get back after it is Reed, and he gets the puck. It'll fire it across ice. Early opportunity for the Flyers. Nick Leddy loses the puck. Here's Couturier centering for Reed. He backhanded it wide as the pass was in his skates. Now it's Schultz at the point, jabbing it back to Couturier. Couturier turns and flings. Deflection save made by Halak. As you look at the Islander combinations at the top of your screen, it's all Flyers here on the first shift. Braden Shen checked by Nick Leddy. Reed comes in to try to get that puck out of there. He's marked by Tavares. And it's Reed who emerges with it. He'll chip it along the boards. Into the point comes Streit. Headed toward the circle. Here's Couturier at it again. Couturier centered. Batted away as that pass meant for Braden Shen. Another clear by the Islanders is tipped away. The Flyers have it again, but Reed fans on it. And the Islanders go the other way. Nikolai Kulemin, the Philadelphia line, he'll backhand it in. The first shift, Flyers spend it entirely in the Islanders zone. There's Michael Del Zotto in the pass. Reed still out on the ice. Got it to the neutral zone. And now Claude Giroux takes over, the captain. Across ice to Voracek. Swings wide. Fires wide to the quarter. All the way up it goes. Is tipped, but not out by the Islanders. Streit sends it down low to Voracek, but he fumbled the puck away. And it's cleared down the ice by Anders Lee. This will be icing against the Islanders. All Philadelphia here early on.
Terrific start for the Flyers. Couturier's line doing a great job of getting the offensive zone pressure. Take a look at tonight's scratches, and it's a long list for both teams.
The Islanders were expected to be without Frans Nielsen and Matt Martin due to 2 undisclosed injuries. Cal Clutterbuck is a bit of a surprise to not be playing in this game. Those are all regulars. Of course, the Flyers without those 5 players on their list for the rest of the season. They've gone with the same lineup here the last several games, and it's played well. 3-0-3 in their last 6. Lee getting the puck to center ice, overtaken by Voracek. They could not clear the zone. 3 Flyers trying to get the puck now. Grossman leans on his man. And Giroux will just chop it back to Streit. He goes across ice for Voracek. Voracek finds Giroux. Giroux back across in his own zone. Got it to Streit. He'll get some room now and across the line. Hands off to Roth. Flings it high and wide. Benny Lecavalier off the bench to the puck. The shot is blocked off by Brock Nelson and moved ahead. Eduard Belmar got his stick in there. He's trying to control it along the boards, and now it's Vanderbilt trying to dig it off the wall, but instead it's Nelson. He's checked by Brandon Manning. And the Flyers have it. Here's Lecavalier across the line. Finesses it down low. Jabs it to the quarter boards. And it's back around to the other side of the ice. Flyers had the first 3 shots on goal in this game. The Islanders came into this game having outshot the Flyers 117-68 in the 3-game series, but the territorial edges the Flyers here early on.
Interesting, because that has not been the case in the previous matchups. The Islanders have had plenty of offensive zone time and opportunities, and the Flyers have relied on really strong and busy goaltending.
Islanders to the puck here. McDonald into the lineup due to those injuries we talked about. Casey Cizikas, and behind the net it goes. Derek Bolton. Bolton holding on and then trying to fire it, but it went off the back of the net for the other quarter. Ryan White is there for Philadelphia into some traffic with some help from Nick Cousins, who gets to Del Zotto. Del Zotto all the way across for Cousins, and then in the middle White. Left wing feed for Zach Rinaldo. He'll just chop it into the corner. He's bumped by Lubomir Visnovsky. Zizekas is back to help out his defense, and the Islanders will look to move up as they begin to try to get their legs here. With a stumbling start, Grossman has the puck down and waits as a change is being completed. As we approach the 4-minute mark, glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet. And Rogers Sportsnet up in Canada. Flyers and Islanders. Braden Shen in across the line with a shot in the glove save by Halak. He'll hang on.
Lots of early Braden Shen here, and he continues to have the hot hand for the Philadelphia Flyers. Came into this game with 6 points in the last 3. Playing that right wing, does a nice job in picking the puck up. Gets it to the net and a rebound opportunity. High in the slot area, looking for a tip. Couturier and Matt Reed, the other members of that line. And so far in this game, it's early, but they've been all over it offensively.
Tremendous week for Braden Shen as he was honored by the NHL. Talked to him about playing the right wing, which he had only done a couple games. Those were in his NHL career as a Flyer. He had not done it at all as a junior player. He's enjoying it. Says, I feel like I have a little more room to work with, and I can make some moves with the puck that I couldn't the other side. Here's a shot for the Islanders save. Mason rebound. Tavares was in front, but Grossman a nice play to knock it away. The Flyers certainly want to keep the Islanders off the scoreboard. They most especially want to keep John Tavares off the score sheet as he is in the middle of that scramble for the Outlaws trophy with Jake Voracek, Sidney Crosby, and others. Here's Shen in the middle. Couturier. Soft shot goes wide. Reed to the puck. Over skates. Now he's checked by Johnny Boychuk. Boychuk and Leddy, a defense pair pretty much all season for the Islanders. They arrived just before the season started. They played together, and they got the 7-year contract extension pretty much together.
Been playing together for a while.
It appears that way. That's big money. There's Jake Voracek racing up. And across the line. Puck rolled on it, but he finds Delzato. Delzato the shot, and that one off a stick and into the safety netting. Well, let's head down inside the glass and welcome Chris Therien to the broadcast for the first time.
Thanks very much, guys. You just mentioned the two men I'm about to talk about, Nick Leddy and Johnny Boychuk. These guys have had really great seasons, and they were the catalyst here to get things going in the island. Garth Snow recognizing he needed a significantly upgraded defense to go along with some of the guys he already had. He got 2 guys that won cups in separate cities, Chicago for Leddy, Boston for Boychuk, and they have delivered, as you said, JJ, 7-year deals. They've got almost identical points. They're plus players, and they're going to be here for a long time, and it's probably not a good thing for a lot of the other Atlantic Division opponents because they are very effective defensemen.
It's interesting when you look at the depth of the New York Islanders and how it changed dramatically with those 2 players added. And if you think about their roles on their Stanley Cup championship teams, Leddy was at times a healthy scratch for the Chicago Blackhawks. They were so deep on the back end, and Boychuk was a 5th/4 defenseman for Boston.
Yep. And they've had to expand their role here, Jonesy. You're right. They become 1 and 2s here, and you know how that'll play out in the playoffs remains to be seen. They need 1 point to get in, but you're right. They're on Stanley Cup teams. They were 4 or 5 defensemen. That was what their roles were.
There's a shot from center. The save made by Mason. Hitting $5 and $6 million apiece. Huge hit on Carlo Koliakovo by Eric Bolton. And here comes Ryan White to stick up for his teammate. Bolton and White. Bolton got an early right in. White in a defensive posture here. Uppercut. They both right over the top by White. They both go down to the ice. Bolton swinging as they do. And the linesmen jump in. Not quite sure Ryan White ever really got his balance in that fight. He did deliver 1 punch. He took a couple. But more of what we've been seeing from these Flyers here, especially late in the season, jumping to each other's aid.
Yeah, sticking up for one another, and that's what Ryan White does here. It's big contact by Bolton on Koliakovo, and then here comes White. Addresses it, goes up against a big, tough customer, and Bolton has not played much this year, but he can still drop the mitts, and there's no question these two wanted a piece of each other.
Yeah, well, I mean, and Ryan White, I mean, he recognized the hit. You know, I don't know. I'll get a better look to see if there was any head contact, but he went right at Bolton. There was no delay at all. He knew what he had to do for his teammate, and he did it. That's why Ryan White's been so big.
Well, they have a word or two as they are in the box now.
I think there's going to be an instigator here. That's what I'm guessing. If Jake Voracek this one over.
Let's take a look at our Ontario travel game notes, shall we, Chris, as we look at the notes. Flyers very good at home pretty much all year, but especially of late. And as we said, the Islanders just 1 point needed. They get to overtime here tonight. They have clinched a playoff spot. They will have a power play here. Jake Voracek serving the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Ryan White. Not instigation, no misconduct as far as the 10 minutes. It's just an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
That's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one.
Here's Tavares. Get it back to Strome, and the Islanders power play gets set up. Leddy dealing to Kyle Okposo, and then back to Leddy and across for Tavares. They send it in the middle off the skate of Strome. A chance to clear, but not getting enough of it. And the Flyers there as Vanderbilt did not clear. That shot goes wider than that. Is not getting all of that shot was Okposo. And now the Flyers do clear as Del Zotto sends it all the way down.
Islanders still waiting for Okposo to heat up. He started to play a little bit better of late, but missed a extended period of time with that eye injury and has not looked as in the offensive flow as he normally does.
Had a look at the numbers. The Flyers penalty kill. It's been a struggle this year. The Islanders have a power play that is in the top 10. Tavares is the key to it. Grossman trying to clear. He got hit head first, or at least shoulder first into the boards. As the puck went out of play, might be a penalty on Grossman.
See where that puck landed. The linesman is saying it landed up in the stands, and the debate was whether or not it was touched by an Islanders stick. It looks like it's going to be a penalty on Grossman. On the backhand there, you'll see him lift it up, and no, it doesn't touch anybody for the New York Islanders. It will be a delay of game penalty.
Grossman was starting to head over, then he stopped, and then that's when the call was made. And he just continued his progress towards the penalty box. Tough play to make on your backhand. Sometimes they either go all the way or they don't. That one went over.
I think the Flyers' contention was that perhaps the hit deserved a penalty. Did not get it. And so the Islanders with a two-man advantage and 54 seconds remaining on the first penalty. Okposo back. Big blast, Boychuk, and he can really fire it. But he missed the target there. Vanderbilt couldn't clear. Schultz, Vanderbilt, and Bellemare, the trio out to try to kill this off. As Tavares gets the puck behind the net, takes it back, and finds Okposo for the big shot. Save Mason. Rebound could not be controlled by the Islanders. It's poked at by Bellemare. He ends up on the ice. Could not get control. Vanderbilt chopping away. Dives to move the puck to Schultz, who hit his own man in the back and couldn't clear it. After a great play by Vanderbilt, the Flyers fail to clear. They do occupy the Islanders along the boards, but it now pops free to Boychuk. 15 seconds remaining on the two-man advantage. Here's it to Tavares. Down low. We'll look things over now. Anders Lee goes in front. Pass back to Tavares as he looks things over. Back out Okposo and across. Boychuk down low. Strome out to Boychuk. It's now a 5-on-4. Okposo to Tavares at the angle. Walks in front. Tries to stuff it home and could not. But Boychuk will keep the puck in his own. Fire trying to get organized now in the 5-on-4. Tavares walks in front. His shot batted away. He's after it again. Flips to Strome. 45 seconds remaining in the 5-on-4. Not sure the Flyers are quite in sync yet, as they have three forwards out on the ice. One of them settling back now. Bellemare in a defensive position next to Nick Schultz. As Boychuk winds and passes to Tavares. Islander captain taking his time. Deals it to Strome. Now back out Boychuk. Now to Strome. Voracek trying to get to him. The cross-ice pass to Okposo. Out near the line. He just kept it in the zone, but he got it to Boychuk, who winds and sends it in front. It redirects wide. Tavares to it. Islanders have it behind the net now. Strome to Tavares. 5 seconds on the power play time. Out into the slot. Here's Okposo, his shot. And that one goes to the corner, perhaps off of Mason. Power play time over. But Tavares still has the puck. Cross-ice into the slot. Flyers get there. Voracek will ice it. Flyers have some dead tired players. Might see a very early timeout in the game right here. But what a job by those players, including Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, killing off that two-man disadvantage.
Outstanding work for the Flyers. The Flyers will host Autism Awareness Night during this Thursday's home game against the Carolina Hurricanes. Join the team for this special evening. Great seats still available at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. And Craig Berube elects to use his timeout here after an outstanding job by his penalty killers.
You know, did a good job there too. Jake Voracek came out of the box. He's not used to being in that situation, and he held his own. Good stick, good body position by the non-penalty killing Voracek coming out of the box. Did a real nice job.
And then Bellemare switching back to play defense. It took him a little while to figure out who was going to go where.
Voracek was kind of directing traffic after he left the box and was telling Bellemare to go back there. And if you're the New York Islanders, you can see there's three Flyer forwards on the ice in a penalty kill. You want to get the puck down low and work it back behind the net, which they did, and eventually got a couple of scoring chances. Flyers, though, did an outstanding job of getting in front of a couple of those shot attempts.
And if you're Craig Berube, you hate to use your timeout this early in the game, but those players were absolutely out of gas. He had to.
Yeah, and the Islanders that were on the ice were exhausted too, but they get the benefit of going off, and your guys are forced to stay on the ice, and so you are kind of forced early here to use that timeout.
And of course, in case you don't know, there's icing. There's a shot. Mason to save right off the draw, and he melts it down. It did not look dangerous at first, but the Islanders got a lot on that shot attempt. Mason with an answer. He's had many of those of late.
Welcome back to South Philadelphia. We have a look at Steve Mason here, who was absolutely tremendous against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 46 saves against them on Sunday, and he was the difference in that game. And here tonight again against the New York Islanders, off to a good start, especially on that power play where he made some pretty key saves right there. Islanders, Philadelphia, the great start. Islanders picking it up on the power play. Mason standing tall again, as he was certainly excellent against Pittsburgh the other day.
Islanders still in the offensive zone. Nice shot by Grabner was deflected in, and Mason had to make another save. Now the Islanders go to work again. Tried to get that out in front. Finally, the Flyers to the puck. It's Giroux to LeCavalier in the middle. Out of the zone initially, but taken there by Manning.
Scoring us here, Islanders failed to score on their 5-on-3 power play opportunity. Flyers get their first power play right now. They've had power play goals in 6 straight games, including a 3-for-4 afternoon against the Pittsburgh Penguins just a couple of days ago. Brayden Schenn there chipping that one up and over, and a beauty to end the game. Michael Del Zotto, after a pretty passing play with Giroux and Brayden Schenn teaming up, adding to the Flyers' power play goal totals this year at home.
Abasicki off for hooking. Flyers power play is back to top ranked in the NHL in terms of home man advantages, 28.8%. You had to look at the McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Voracek tied up there by Grabner, who got it ahead to Kuhlman. Grabner decides not to join him on the rush. Kuhlman will just chip it in to the Philadelphia zone.
Got to be aware of Grabner out here. He's the one threat for the Islanders. This guy seems to get a breakaway a game on the penalty kill.
There are the overall numbers. Flyers ranked 3rd. Islanders were on the bottom of the league for a long period of time. The penalty kill. Another penalty coming up in the Islanders. And now it's the Flyers who will have a 2-man advantage. A tripping infraction spotted. Francois Saint-Laurent and Dave Lewis are your referees. Lewis, the nephew of former NHL referee Brian.
Johnny Boychuk's going to pick up the penalty. Giroux tries to enter the zone there, and there's a couple of bodies that go towards him. Cizikas and Boychuk were both wondering which guy was going to get the call. There wasn't a whole lot there, and Boychuk does have an argument.
So, the Flyers with 1:25 of 2-man advantage time available to them. Try to get the game's first goal. Drop the puck again. Giroux, Schenn. Voracek up front with Streit and Del Zotto, so they change it up for the 5-on-3, put 2 defensemen out there. And Voracek moves up front. Here is Giroux holding on. And getting it to Schenn for the shot, and he missed the net. Hamonic tries to clear. Del Zotto to a knee to keep it in. They set it up again. Giroux holding on. Flyers have 2 men right around the net. The pass goes across to Streit. And now Streit to Del Zotto. They'll change places. Here's Voracek quickly across Giroux, and he missed it short side. He hit it off the outside of the net. Streit knocks down the clearing attempt. Looks to the middle. Heels to Giroux. Giroux looking across ice. Nothing there for the moment. Goes back out. Streit a shot. Deflection, but it goes up over the net and into the safety netting.
Flyers doing a good job of retrieving pucks here, as the Islanders had a couple opportunities to clear them. Del Zotto used his glove on one of those, and Mark Streit with a nice job knocking the puck down. Giroux will try to win another face-off here. He started this 5-on-3 power play with a face-off win, and the Flyers were able to keep the puck in and make at least a couple of plays towards the net.
There's the red-hot Flyers power play of late. The ones he was talking about. Streit cross ice. The shot and the save by Alaki denies Voracek. Streit tries to clear. Whipping on it was Del Zotto as he tried to kick the puck in. Brock Nelson the other way with a wrister. That's fought off by Mason. 20 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. As the puck goes across to Voracek. surging into the Islanders zone. His pass dug loose by Giroux around behind the net. And now they'll go out to strike. They'll set it up again. Cross ice it goes. Del Zotto to strike. For Giroux. Giroux hold, waits, cross ice, shot, and the save by Alak off of Del Zotto. Out of the box jumps Hickey. It's now 5-on-4 back in front. Giroux shot, deflected away by Nelson. Now Voracek has it. The cross ice pass is tipped. Just 25 seconds remaining on the 5-on-4. Strike guiding it to Giroux. Giroux into the middle. It's tipped back out to strike to Giroux. One-timer. He scores! A blast from the captain. His 24th goal of the year. The Flyers get the first one. It's 1-0. Giroux scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Jake Voracek picks up an assist to his 80th point of the season. He sets up in the middle of the box. Watch 93 in the middle. And Giroux with a little pass to him. He gets it back to the point, and then it's a beautiful pass across that. You can see the one-time blast by Giroux.
Good patience by the Flyers, recognizing it didn't happen on the 5-on-3. They stayed with good puck movement and a good option, getting it back over to Giroux for a shot towards the end of the Islander penalty kill. Flyer power play. Did a real nice job.
Claude Giroux, power play goal number 12 for him. He leads all players in the NHL in power play points. Claude Giroux, line mate, Jake Voracek, 1 point off the overall point leadership pace set by Sidney Crosby, tied with 3 other players. Here come the Islanders right back. Hickey! And he guided that toward that one off his stick and then was deflected away. And the Flyers get the puck back. Move up. Pass from Cousins. Did not come up with it. Icing is waved off as Alak went out to play the puck. The wall, Ryan White nudges it ahead for Cousins. Cousins centering, but it's tipped away from Ronaldo and out through the neutral zone. Zotto retrieves. Ronaldo redirects in. Wisnowski will move to Leddy. Leddy banks to the Philadelphia line. There is Schultz. 7 straight games now for the Flyers. The power play goal. What a weapon it has been for them this year. Couturier trying to maneuver around Leddy, could not. Reed is there, right back to Couturier. Centering it off an Islander skate, back toward Couturier. He's got it, and then he is stripped behind the net before being dumped. Braden Shen after it. Boychuk. Third, it goes back out to Braden Shen, whose pass is into the corner. Couturier dragging it along behind the net. Flyers changing the defense pair as Couturier gets to Reed. Reed fanning out a pass, then giving to Del Zotto. Del Zotto around behind the net, out the other side. Takes a look in front, then back toward the point. Changes direction again, and holds on. Not a power play anymore, but it sort of looks like one. Here's Couturier. Fending off a check. Couturier back out to strike. Cross ice, shot, and a save by a lock up of Shen. Back to Shen it goes. Into the middle, Del Zotto, right back to Braden Shen. Holds on, waits, and now gets some room. He'll wind up and fire. It's deflected out high and went wide. Strome there, and he'll move it into the middle for Kuhlman. Move it into the Philadelphia zone. Cross ice pass. The shot there by Tavares, handled by Mason, and he will hang on. Less than 5 minutes to play in period number 1.
Time to take a look now at our Chevy player profile of this hockey game. And it is Kyle Okposo of the New York Islanders. I'll tell you what, he's been a very valuable member of this team. Missed 22 games this season as well with what was a detached retina. And you can see the importance he made. The Islanders not as good without him in the lineup. And 17 goals, 31 assists for 48 points on the year. The former first rounder. Minnesota native is today's Chevy player profile of the game. Really broke out last year with 27 goals and played pretty well until that injury. Has taken him some time to get back into the swing of things. Couple goals in his last 3 games. The centering pass by Okposo. And then on Mason, he gets it back. Big hit behind the net on Belmar. Flyers bench up in arms about that as Vandevelde moves up. Chris Vandevelde dumped it in, straight trying to stay on side. He did, but the puck to the Islanders. And straight will move it along for Okposo. His pass hitting Claude Giroux. And bouncing off of Anders Lee. Back to Okposo. In across the line. His pass off the mark for Bailey. Islanders passing just not quite
where it usually is so far in this game. Get out in the slot. There's a shot that hit a body in front. Is Lee flying? The cross-ice attempt by Voracek did not get out of the zone. It's a turnover. Here's Bailey. Bailey's pass knocked down by Grossman. And Jake Voracek is back on it. This time he tries to carry it to center. He gets checked from behind. And the Islanders get it back. 3:50 remaining in this first period. Giroux's 24th of the year has the Flyers on top. Mark Streit, Jake Voracek with assists. Mark Streit now 49 points on the season. In this day and age, the way scoring is down in the NHL. A 50-point season from a defenseman is saying something. Grabner's shot up high, and the save made by Mason, and no further play. Here is tonight's Jeep trivia question of the game. When was the last time the Islanders had a 100-point season? 83-84, 92-93, or 2001-2002? We have to give you the answer to this one soon because the Islanders are sitting at 98 points. With 2 points tonight, they would be at 100.
Big points on the line for the New York Islanders in this game, trying to climb above the Washington Capitals in the Metropolitan Division. And home ice would be extremely important for the New York Islanders. Last year at the Nassau Coliseum, the place has been rocking all year long, and Islanders need to pick up their game. They have not played well down the stretch.
And you want to be on a roll going into the playoffs, so this is a real big game for New York for sure.
Both teams have had two-man advantages. The Islanders might have gotten more scoring chances with theirs, although it doesn't have the feel of a game where the Islanders have had 4 more chances than the Flyers.
No, it does not. There's no question about that. Take the Flyers fandom to the next level with a 2015-16 membership. Lock in your season tickets now for a chance to win a trip to next season's Winter Classic. 2 season tickets next year and more. Call 215-218-PUCK to order or renew.
Seeing some signs of real building blocks for this Flyers team. With Mason playing like a franchise goalie for one thing. Giroux, Jake Voracek, Wayne Simmons up front. Brayden Schenn playing well down the stretch. Have some defensemen obviously on the way too. Young players. A couple of them still playing in the playoffs. Junior level. Travis Sanheim. Sam Morin. Sanheim leading his team in defense scoring through a 7-game playoff series win in WHL Calgary.
It's the key. That's what everyone's waiting for here in Philadelphia is their young defensemen who continue to develop, continue to get experience. It's important that they're playing in key playoff situations at a different level, obviously, than here, but that experience will bode well when it's time for Ron Hextall to give them the call and put them in the Flyers uniform. Flyer fans very anxious and want those guys as quickly as possible, but Ron Hextall very patient. He's done a nice job in kind of taking some of the enthusiasm away by delaying that process.
You have to feel for Hexie in one way because this is a very difficult team to read. They've been so good against the good teams and so poor against the bad teams.
Yep. They're close.
Yeah. I mean, they're capable. There's no doubt about that. Consistency has lacked really from start to finish this year. Here is Streit. In the middle, Giroux, the shot, he scores! Oh, Giroux has 2. And his second even strength goal on home ice this year. He now has 25 for the year. It's 2-0 Philadelphia. Giroux again for a case of tasty cake.
And they're real close when you look at plays like that. There's no question that this Flyers team has the offense, especially up front, to compete with the best teams in the league. And you can see Voracek and the boys go to work again. Voracek picks up another point, his 81st of the season. A nice feed across. Mark Streit picks up yet another point, his 50th of the season.
Yeah, he's the catalyst coming up the ice. Streit helps out, joining up, and gives it to Giroux. What a great shot by Giroux.
So it'll again be Giroux from Streit and Voracek, just as the first goal read. There's Tavares looking to get those points on the board. Got back to the point. That shot deflected and went just wide. And Reed decides to go backwards with the puck here. He's surrounded by Islanders. Bounces free to the other side of the ice. Schultz up the wall. Schenn tips, but does not clear. Kuhlman, though, is checked by Couturier. He strips him of the puck and moves up with it. Couturier with a pass for Reed, but it was deflected. Stays in play high off the glass. Schenn checked along the wall. 1:40 remaining in this first period. Voracek with 2 points. Depending on what is happening elsewhere, could very well be tied for NHL scoring leadership right now.
Penguins up 1-0. I'm not sure who got that goal or picked up the point, so we'll have to take a peek at that in a second.
Brandon Manning forced, comes out from behind his own net. He got the puck to Belmar on the right wing. LeCavalier back to Belmar. In ahead of the play was Vandevelde offside.
Flyers off to a great start in this game, and a lot of it had to do with Belmar and his ability to kill penalties. Voracek and Giroux pick it up again offensively, and Giroux continues to put the puck in the back of the net. You can see the 15 career 2-goal games for Claude Giroux.
As it's 1-0 Pittsburgh, guys. And take a guess who scored.
Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby.
Jake Voracek is not tied for NHL scoring leadership. He might have been for a second or two. He's 1 point back.
Well, Crosby scored 10 seconds into the game.
No, so he never was.
Didn't waste any time, did he? Yeah.
It's amazing.
He had to know Crosby was going to be ready for that game. It is a huge game for the Penguins. The Flyers have put the Penguins in a very precarious position in terms of the playoff race. They win that game, they're fine, but they lose that one in Ottawa, and then all bets are off. Detroit also scrambled. The Senators have made things very uncomfortable for some teams that probably felt they had playoff positions pretty much cinched up not so long ago. The Islanders haven't mathematically clinched as yet either. Need 1 point gained from this game or lost by the Senators in that game with the Penguins, and they'll be officially in. Second time in 3 years. Letty will move that puck. Ahead to Oposo. Ahead by Lee, but he didn't get very far with it. And White being chopped at. It will force the puck into the Islanders' zone. 15 seconds remaining in the period. Wojciech will drop it back to Letty. And Letty will swerve to the red line. The Philadelphia line where he is poke checked with the puck beautifully by Strike. Flyers with one last rush. Here's Ronaldo swinging wide to the left wing, taking the shot. Glove save by Halak as the horn sounds. Well, the captain pots 2, and the Flyers with an outstanding first period. They're outshot 15-10, but they have a 2-0 lead where it counts through 20 minutes of play. Tonight's Flyers Islanders first period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well. And by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. Downstairs we go to Chris Therien as he chats with the captain.
Thanks very much. G, pair of goals that period. First one, power play goal. Second one, even strength. Tell me about both of them.
Yeah, the power play one, just trying to get it on net. We had a long 5-on-3 there, get a couple chances, was able to put it in.
Your chemistry with Jake Voracek this year, you guys have grown immensely. Tell me what it's like to have him as a line mate and the chemistry you guys have developed together.
Oh, it's fun. You know, we've been playing together for 3 years, I think now, and you know he controls the play pretty good with the puck, and for a guy like me, just trying to get open and hopefully we can keep going like this.
Gee, great start. Finish up strong.
Thank you.
7 goals in his last 8 games. Drew is hot. Intermission Live, straight ahead, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. John Bork and Brian Boucher analyze the first period, which has the Flyers on top by 2. Tonight's second period is brought to you by local Delaware Valley Audi dealers and legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive, the world's top-selling luxury all-wheel drive system. And by McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Two-0 Flyers with 1 period in the books. Claude Giroux scoring both goals. He has now hit 25 goals in a season, 4 times in his career. And the Flyers with the lead. Here's Couturier. Second period is underway. Taken off the puck by Tavares. Shen moves to get to it, but lost it to Strome. In the middle off Couturier's skate, and Halak will come out of his net. Guided back to Strome. Flyers came out to start the first period with all kinds of jump. Had the Islanders pinned in their zone for quite a time. Got some scoring chances before they got into some penalty trouble. The second period starts. Del Zotto back to get it. Michael Del Zotto has really put together a good second half of the season. Gets that puck to Braden Shen and into the Islanders zone. Boychuk back for it. Up the wall. Now Josh Bailey across for Letty. Letty around a stick check from Giroux, but couldn't get it past Voracek. Voracek get across the Islander line. Winds and fires, save a lot. And he eats that puck.
Another good play in the neutral zone by Jake Voracek. Good position, good anticipation. He jumps on that loose puck. He's on the left-hand side here, which he's normally not, but got the shot through to the net. A couple assists early in this one for Voracek. He picked up that one on the Giroux power play goal. Mark Streit also involved, and then it's Voracek and Streit once again set it up. Giroux. Giroux picks up 2 goals in the period. Streit and Voracek a couple of helpers apiece, and Voracek continues to try to chase down Sidney Crosby.
Josh Bailey will dump it in. Now the shot by Bush, save, rebound, and Lee unable to bang that one home. As Mason let that puck out in front, the Flyers caught napping a little bit on the coverage in front, but they lived to tell about it. Here's Streit. The pass for Bailey. Now Poso. Have it back. Voracek up the right wing. He is checked by Brock Nelson. There's without Frans Nielsen. Takes away the Nielsen-Nelson problem. Also a good player the Islanders are without. His Hamannik's shot is deflected away. Back around behind by the Islanders. Islanders trying to get to that puck. Could not, and Mason had to make a save. Now a big shot. Hickey bounces back out. Grabner. Grabner holding on. Wrist shot deflected and went wide. The puck again is Kennedy. Fired at the deadline, moves it around behind the net. There's Grabner in front, loose puck to the slot, turning and firing as Nelson wide. Flyers really on their heels here. Big hit there, but as Bellemare ends up taking a seat, he does get back up to find the puck in his skates, but can't really do much with it as he's being checked. Finally, it comes free and rolls toward the circle. Voracek, good job to keep Grabner away from it. Streit takes it off the glass and ahead to Vandevelde. 3-on-2 developing. Vandevelde's pass to Voracek. Voracek the shot, and he missed it wide. Now the puck jabbed right at the line. The Islanders dig it free. McDonald moves up to Hickey. Hickey dealing on the left wing for Bolton. His shot ends up deflecting and going through the slot. Omar jabbing at it. Cizikas gets it back out. Wisnowski a shot. Save. Mason flicks it away. Flyers need to locate that puck. Cizikas given a lot of room. He'll take a shot, and it's blocked off by Vandevelde as he got to it, and now the puck out to center ice. Here's Ryan White. Checked. Tries to get back onside from Manning, and Manning hoisted into the Islanders zone. Cousins lets it go. Ronaldo the shot off the crossbar. Blast from Ronaldo, beat Halak, but found iron. Now Cousins swings it through the slot. Nobody home. Up the other side, Del Zotto takes a hit from McDonald. Got the puck behind the net, turning with Ronaldo. And that one boxed around by Halak before he covers up. Good action at both ends.
Great action and a good scoring chance for Zach Ronaldo. He ripped his shot. It's high and it's hard, and it's right off the pipe. As you can see, Halak looking back at that one. He had the scoring chance, and then Vandevelde doing a nice job in getting in the front of a couple of New York Islanders shot attempts. 76 in orange has done this all season long, and Craig Berube talking about most improved players during the season. Vandevelde certainly one of them.
13 chances for the Islanders as they look for more here, but that shot handled with ease by Mason. Strome just flung that one toward the net. What a season for Ryan Strome. Second on the Islanders in points, first in plus minus. You could ask some people who watch every game the NHL, some observers. I don't think they would have been aware that he was second on the team in points and leading them in plus minus.
It's funny how that goes. You remember the start Brock Nelson had. He was lighting it up. He was in the middle of every power play goal that was scored. You would have thought he would have been the guy that climbed the charts. But he slowed down, and Strome was taking over.
Letty with the puck here. Shot blocked, tipped in the slot. Schultz couldn't find it. Tavares behind the net, maneuvering with Couturier chasing. Got it to Strome. Strome back for Tavares. A shot. Save Mason. And he covers up. Tavares in some traffic. Not sure he got all of that. But certainly a good bid. And Mason was there for the answer. And speaking of Steve Mason, there's our Geico quote of the game.
And Steve Mason talking really about what happened, what went on Sunday and what you have to do for your team. And I think that sums it up pretty well. Pittsburgh with a good start in that game. And they had a lot of shots on goal. Mason doing a great job to give the Flyers a chance to come back and win. That's what he's saying. It's a quick replay here in front. Again, the Islanders throwing a lot more pucks. I thought more conscious effort to get them right into the paint area, and they've got a guy sticking right in front of Mason who's done a good job.
There's a point shot by Boychuk that's deflected. Bailey trying to get it out in front. Galati behind the net is Giroux piled in. He ends up with the puck and starts the rush. Claude Giroux, the left wing, without a stick, probably gets one from the bench and then tips it deep into the Islanders zone. The Islanders get the puck out to center ice. Lee just jamming at the strike. And now it's Grossman. That's off the stick to Giroux. And Giroux slashed, but no call as he trying to show the referees he got slashed there, but they didn't go for awful after. Poso could not clear this. Oh, he did. Just barely out to center. Brought back it outside by Raffl.
Giroux's in the middle of all of it. Did a nice job defensively there, and he's picked it up. As far as the offense goes, face off on the 5-on-3. He wins that key draw, gets a couple of scoring chances, then buries the power play marker right there. 24th and the 25th following shortly after that. A 2-goal first period for Claude Giroux, and another strong shift there.
He's got his feet here tonight working for him, guys. He's really skating out here.
Has been now for a while. 7 goals in the last 8 games. That puck deflects into the Islander bench. Giroux will tell you he's more of a playmaker than a sniper, but certainly capable of putting the puck in the net. As we said, 4th time in his career now, 25 or more goals.
Kind of came in with that shoot first attitude this year, right from the start, and had some lulls kind of in the middle part of the season, but really picked it up in the goal scoring department of late.
Craig Berube, a big advocate of having these guys shoot the puck more from day one. He's certainly heeding that advice. Done a good job. 24 goals.
Here's Voracek trying to tuck that one home. Hawk's not sure where it is, but it is in his equipment. Did not quite make it home. Voracek with a bid for his 3rd point of the night.
Wraparound attempt there, and how many times have we saw Jake this season take the puck behind the net and make something happen with it? There's the wraparound as Halak goes post to post and slides across. Referee in good position, and the overhead's not going to show us if that puck went over the line or not.
What a great play by Voracek, though. Such great hands, fast hands, and the ability to get from one side of the post to the other and behind the net. Just a great job. And Halak makes a heck of a save.
Islanders win the draw here in their own zone. 5 minutes into this 2nd period. Brock Nelson comes up with the puck here. Working on Koliakovo. Koliakovo tipped it away. Drifts into Mason, who covers up.
Well, take the Flyers with you wherever you go. Get the latest updates, buy tickets and more with the Flyers mobile app. Available for download now in the Apple app and Google Play stores.
The Apple app.
The Apple app.
It's all about apps now.
It is. It used to be the way it was on the road for Bundy and I back in the day. Appetizers was the key.
Yes,
to that.
that's the only app we knew, Jonesy.
Yeah.
Did you use the past tense there?
Yep.
Yes. Changed our way.
There's no more appetizer for you. I don't know. Dinner in Carolina, I could have sworn, Chris, you had an appetizer or two, but
No, I didn't. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Well, I usually do.
we all do.
Of course.
Straight getting the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Schultz turned around by Tavares, who tried to center. It bounces back to Kuhlman. Former Leaf. Get it to Tavares, but the Flyers take over, and now Matt Reed out in center ice. Couturier stopped. Reed kept the puck into the slot for Braden Shen, tipped away. And then taken to the wall by Straight. Kyle McDonald, nice redirection pass to Tavares. He's got help coming. Hamannik getting away from Couturier. There's the pass, the shot, the save by Mason. There will be a penalty on the Flyers. Hooking will be the call. I was waiting to see if it was going to be a penalty shot, but Francois Saint-Laurent just simply signals a hook, so the Islanders will go to the power play.
You wondered if Travis Hamonic is fast or not. He's fast. Couturier couldn't catch him and knew it, and had to put the ski hook on him right there, and Hamonic still gets the shot on goal. Couturier gets the penalty.
Here's the play. Hamonic went in, and looked like it was a late call, but nonetheless the right one. The Islanders get back on the power play. And you're right, good burst of speed by Travis Hamonic right there.
No penalty shot because the hook took place before he even had the puck. Slowed him down. And also he got a scoring chance, legitimate scoring chance, despite the hook. So the Islanders with their third power play. Remember, they had that significant two-man advantage in the first period, as did the Flyers. Belmar, good work in traffic, spins and clears it all the way down.
Vandeveldy and Belmar involved again on that penalty kill. Both players do a terrific job of reading off one another and put a lot of pressure on the opposition.
Brock Nelson feathers that one deep into the Philadelphia zone. Grossman took a look. He's tied up and surrounded. The puck comes free. Manning after it. Goes off the stick and is controlled by the Islanders. Wisnowski mopping it off. Takes it back from Nelson. Now to Wojciech, who blasts. Save Mason through McDonald's screen in front. Another area of Mason's game has been so good here down the stretch, locating the puck through traffic. He's going to have to deal with Wisnowski here, and he makes the save. Chest high, and no further play.
Couple of blasts from the point. Wojciech with one of them. Mason able to stop that one. There was a rebound, and the New York Islanders end up getting another scoring chance from the point, but it's Mason to hold on and make sure there's no rebound on that one.
Got Wojciech, heavy shot, the right shot from the right point. That went through a little small maze. Mason does a good job in Wisnowski with the last shot. I like Mason came right out of his net, guys. No hesitation to challenge the shooter. That's good goaltending.
Tavares locates the puck off the faceoff. Leddy gets it back to him. Tavares back across ice. Now it's Leddy. Deal it to Strome. 53 seconds in the power play. Tavares back out. Leddy. Over on the right side. Strome. The shot redirected wide by Anders Lee in front. Now back out it goes to Leddy. Standing skater. Leddy to Tavares. Down low. Oposo. Pass back out, and it was a bouncer that could not be knocked down by Leddy. Who's going to force Leddy? Took his time getting back to that puck. He gets it to Tavares. Giroux throws his hip in to Tavares, who slashes Giroux after the clean hit. Now it's Leddy starting back. Pass for Strome. Slams on the brakes and fell down. Reed springing Giroux. Giroux trying to split the two Islanders. Drops it back to Manning. Manning holds and then fires it wide in a bid for his first NHL goal. Now the Flyers have to hustle to try to get back. They say the play is onside. Strome shot save. Rebound. And it's cleared out of there by Giroux. Mason got one, maybe two saves in that mix. And the Flyers get the puck into the Islanders zone. The power play is over. Mason continues to be spectacular, as does Giroux.
Let's take a look at the Wells Fargo great check of the game. And yes, it involved those two men, Eric Bolton and Carlo Koliakovo. Koliakovo going back behind the net. Eric Bolton leans a nice heavy shoulder into the shoulder of Koliakovo. In response to that, Ryan White goes right up and introduces himself to Eric Bolton. A guy who does not play much in the Island, but White does a good job with the fight. That's how you respond to your teammate.
And bottom of your screen, not anymore, but the bottom of your screen when you get set up for this face-off, there they are, Bolton and White.
Islanders a little different looking team without Matt Martin and Cal Clutterbuck in the mix.
For sure.
Yeah. Agree more with you, Jonesy. Different looking team.
Leading hit total, and those two are 1-2 in hits. That puck in front hit the crossbar, I believe, and somehow stayed out. Mason a little slow getting back up to his skates behind the play as the Flyers go up. An angle shot saved by Halak. Also Ronaldo, who's putting that puck on net, or at least toward the net here tonight. Ryan straight. Flutters that one out to center. Koliakovo knocks it down. Off of White's stick, deep into the Islander zone. Locke will play it to Bolton. And he moves it in on the tape. Nice pass to Kennedy. Kennedy with the move and the shot. Save Mason, another penalty. This will be straight, I believe. And now we get more pushing and shoving. Nelson involved for the Islanders, and Zach Ronaldo for the Flyers, but nothing too serious. But another Islander power play. Flyers spending a little bit too much time shorthanded in this game.
Another Islander power play to kill off here, and another scoring chance down low, and it's Bolton that's going to knock that puck out of the air. It would have been high sticky. Not sure if it catches the crossbar or the back of it there. It went off the back and top of the net there and came out.
And this is a rush chance here again by the New York Islanders, and they set it up. The penalty drawn again is Nelson going in. Little pitchfork there, it looked like. Straight with the hooking call, but both these last two penalties by the Flyers have come with the Islanders on the rush. Another huge kill here.
Delzato trying to clear, and he got some help as that was tipped all the way down the ice. Belmar in on the forecheck. Only getting his stick on that clear to deflect it past the point man. Now there's a right back in. Strome. Trying to get it in front. And then Schultz tipping it back to the corner. Back around to the other side of the ice. Tavares ridden in by Belmar. It's back out to Leddy, and they're set up. Strome winds, fires, deflection, score! Tavares redirecting that one past Mason, and it's 2-1 as the Islanders cut the lead in half. And Tavares has his 36th goal of the year, and he ties his career high with his 81st point of the season.
Ryan Strome plays the point on this power play unit, the #1 unit for the New York Islanders. He does a real nice job. The slap pass right to the tape of Tavares, who sneaks into the slot area, and does a nice job in redirecting that puck.
Yeah, great redirection. It's the emphasis right there of getting your stick on the puck. And it's happened so quick. Delzato gets caught from behind. If you're able to screen the guy and kind of keep near outside and recognize what's happening at the point, you may be able to lift the stick. That's pretty good hockey play.
So the Islanders finally take advantage of the power play. Now they look to tie the game. Here's Nelson. Through Grabner to Hickey. Trying to get it back in front. Manning may have saved the goal as he broke up the play. Now he has the puck, and he'll move it out to center ice. Islanders will have energy now. Flyers need to respond. Here's Raffl. Looking the puck right the corner. Giroux back for Raffl. Never did get it through to Voracek. In from the point comes Manning. Voracek got over his stick. Raffl is there, being hooked. No penalty. He'll continue after it behind the net. Pushes it to Voracek. Voracek looking for room all the way across. Here's Koliakovo. Koliakovo in front, looking for the redirect from Giroux, but it went out through. Now it's Voracek to the puck again. Changing direction into the slot. Koliakovo, the shot off the post and out of play. Koliakovo that close to a goal, and Voracek that close to another assist.
Islanders back to within one here. Brandon Manning does a nice job of making sure they don't get a tap-in goal to tie it up at 2-2. A nice defensive play with his stick there. Grabner would have an empty net to shoot into. Manning makes the play, and then more from the Flyers defense. This time it's Carlo Koliakovo ringing that wrist shot right off the crossbar in and behind Halak after a nice feed from Jake Voracek.
Yeah, good shot by Koliakovo. He recognizes his screen. Hey, no doubt about that one. Heck of a shot.
Voracek at last check, and it's a very fluid situation.
Yes.
1 point behind Sidney Crosby. Top the scoring chart. Penguins lead 3-0. Crosby has a point in that game. He scored that first goal we told you about just 10 seconds in. Penguins now that 3-goal lead. Here's Belmar, shot save. Halak rebound. Deflects free. Got back by Streit. Now Grossman to the Cavalier. In front, they score! Here Edward Belmar ramming that home, and the Flyers have their 2-goal lead back. It's 3-1. Belmar with his 6th of the year scoring for a case of Tasty Cake.
These guys just don't stop working, and it's been a huge plus for the Flyers to have a reliable fourth line. And Vinny Lecavalier a part of that. Does a nice job here with a beautiful pass across to Belmar, who taps it in past Halak.
Yeah, you know what, Jonesy, you're right here. What a great play by Vinny. You still see the flash of brilliance that he had in this league for a long time, but at Belmar, right to the front of the net. What a great pass by Lecavalier.
Flyers back up by 2. They respond just a minute and 12 seconds. After the Islanders hit score, but here come the Islanders, 3-on-2. Cizikas to McDonald, back to Boychuk for a blast, and Mason the save. Mason ends up in the net. There was some congestion in front of him. And the puck deflects into the Islander bench. 8:49 remaining here in the period. Belmar reflecting upon his goal. Tomorrow morning, wake up to an all-new morning show hosted by Rob Ellis, Willie Neely, Eric Brooks, and Sarah Baker. Special guests Bob Costas and Ron Hextall. Don't miss Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Weekday morning, 6 to 8 over on the Comcast Network. If you're getting Ron Hextall up in the morning, early in the morning like that, to say nothing of Bob Costas, you're an important show.
Yes, you are.
good job by those guys getting underway yesterday with their first show, and again today for number 2 on the Comcast network.
And Crosby was given an assist on the 3rd goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Was originally on there? Yeah.
So he is now back up ahead of Jake Voracek by 2 points. Schenn sidestepping a check, tried to bunt that puck to Delzato, and it's turned over. And the Islanders take the shot, and Mason making the save on Strome from the angle, and again, no rebound.
Yeah, a dangerous looking play as it was slow to develop, but Strome alertly just got the puck to the net. He was looking for Tavares originally. We had just set up for a power play goal for the New York Islanders moments ago, but Mason there to make the save and hold on to it. And Tavares and Strome communicating on the bench there, trying to figure out a way to get another one past Mason.
28-15 now. The shots in favor of the Islanders, including 13-5 here in the second period.
It's a couple games now in a row where the shots have been really high at a strange part of the game. Usually you see 28, maybe 4 or 5 minutes left in the third. Here you are towards the end of the second again. So same with Pittsburgh the other day. But it doesn't matter because the Flyers are the ones making the chances count.
And you have a guy between the pipes who's just simply red hot. There is Rothwick. With that one in front. And Kester got it back out to Strike. Strike dropping it off to Voracek. Voracek back in front. It tips through back to Voracek. And he couldn't get a clean shot off as the puck was bouncing. Strike has to go back and get it. A smooth shot pass to Giroux. Has 2. Moves on. It takes a stick up high. Penalty. Oh, Giroux went down to the ice. Did not see any blood there. Jake Voracek always ready to stick up for a teammate, as we saw on Sunday. But in this case, Giroux appears to be okay. Easy for me to say. He's obviously in some pain, but did not see blood.
Referee checking him for blood right now. And there's the stick of Wisnowski going right up into the face of Claude Giroux.
2 minutes, guys. Yep.
Those hurt. They sting right under the beak there.
They sure do.
Make the eyes water when you get hit in the schnoz. You can see Giroux wiping them there. Been
amazing.
there.
You get a glancing blow from his stick and get a cut. It's 4 minutes. You get a shot like that. He's not bleeding, so it's just 2. Just the way it is.
Pretty nifty move by Giroux, and that's really what threw Wisnowski off there. He tried to take a stab at the puck, missed, and clipped Giroux in the nose, and Giroux changes his stick up here. It goes with his shooting stick, the way he's been firing it now in the early part of this game.
Over by the bench now as Wisnowski takes a seat. Not sure what this discussion's about.
Making Giroux go off the ice because he was down for a moment, and Giroux will stand by the bench with the door open basically and wait to climb back on for Matt Reed.
There's your McDonald's power play payoff contested, and is unable to win that draw. Giroux's so good at that, but he wasn't out there. Now he is. Having trouble handling that puck. Ullman gets to it instead. His shot is blocked. The Flyers went to the puck, so Radner will get it now after it was blocked and skate it all the way back toward his own zone and try to kill off as much time as they can. Bouncer in on Mason. Voracek has 35 in the power play. Voracek all kinds of room to work with. With speed and across the line. Dropped it back, no one home. Right, has to hustle to get there in front of Nelson. Strike turns with it. Moves it ahead to Voracek. He is overtaken from behind by Cizikas. And now Boychuk will send it up the wall. Schenn over to keep it in. Hickey trying to clear Voracek, waiting for that. Big Voracek sets things up. Not to Strike. Back to Voracek. Cross ice pass tipped away. Hickey moving ahead, and here come the Islanders, but Nelson never could get to that puck. Strike behind the back for Voracek. Voracek cutting to the middle. Cross ice pass. Raffled the shot. Hot on it, but it missed the target. Went wide all the way down, and now race here. Voracek is tired. Radner with all that speed gets to it. Radner just bounced that one back out to the neutral zone. 36 seconds remaining on the Philadelphia power play. They're trying to get the puck back, and they do. Second unit out now. 6 minutes remaining in the second period. Reed. Left wing feed. Couturier settles things. pushes it behind the net. Reed will get it to LeCavalier. LeCavalier. That one back out to Delzato. Rolling pass across for Couturier. Couturier takes a look, takes it into the corner, and then banks it back out to Delzato. Now it's LeCavalier. Back to Delzato. And now Vinny with his shot blocked. Power plays over. Wisnowski out of the box. Delzato will send it around behind the net through Reed. And there's LeCavalier turning with it, trying to make a maneuver on Straight, but Straight knocked the puck away. And the puck out to center ice for Delzato again. The Flyers want to get a full line out there now. The power play having ended. Cavalier goes across ice. There's Reed. Lays it off the wall. Wrist shot goes wide. And out to Cavalier. Quick shot up the outside of the net. Post at least. Ronaldo is there. Ronaldo around behind the cage. Dropped it off. Change of direction from Vandevelde. Vandevelde stutter step move now. It's Tavares. Got him wrapped up. He tips it back to Ronaldo. Ronaldo centering for Grossman with the pass in his skates. Good idea. They execute the pass, but Grossman keeps it in. Gives it to Vandevelde into the slot. Backhanded by Belmar goes wide. And now Straight. Get that puck to Strome, who sends a pop fly. It never. Oh, it did get out of the zone, they say. Brought back in offside by the Flyers. 4:28 remaining in the second. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare has given the Flyers their 2-goal lead back.
Let's take a look now at our Independence Blue Cross fearless play of this hockey game. And Ryan White, earlier, guys, steps up for his teammate Carlo Poliakomo on a big hit. He jumps right in there. It takes on the resident heavyweight for the New York Islanders, Eric Bolton. That's getting your nose dirty. Took a pretty good punch in that. Weight difference is a big one. Significantly higher for Bolton. You know what, though? Same height, guys, so some would call it the same weight class, but Bolton's been doing this a little bit longer than Ryan White has. And still a great job, though. That's sending your teammates a message that you're there for them and you're accountable to them.
It was his 141st NHL fight. I'm sure he's had a couple more other levels. Eric Bolton is third among active players in fights, so yeah, he's had a couple more than Ryan White.
Fighting for an NHL job now.
Been fighting for an NHL job for 12 years now.
Done a good job.
Yep.
Had to deal with injuries this year in addition to being a health distraction. Flyers with a 3-on-2 here as the pass up the middle springs Cousins to White. White the wrist shot. The stick. Ronaldo chopped at it. The Islanders come up with it. Leddy. And Manning. Kennedy moving to the middle. Wiseman drops it off. Boychuk. They get a shot up. It was blocked. The Islanders recover it. Now here's Leddy. Takes a look. They're surrounded him. Pass goes to the other side of the ice. Centered in front. Jabbed at. Bounces through. Stepped in by Leddy. The pass to Kennedy, but his pass off the mark. Flyers have it. Ronaldo. White. Flyers need a change here. White, instead of dumping it in, try to pass to Cousins. The Flyers will still get their change. But here's Leddy. Skating well and across the Philadelphia line. Down behind the net. Raffle will be the first to it. Rink wide he goes to Voracek, who could not handle it. Around the counter rush, it's Nelson unable to knock down the bouncing puck. It bounces back out, and Jake has it. In across the line with Giroux. Voracek to Giroux, the tip, the save, and the rebound. He eludes Raffle, and the other way go the Islanders. It's Nelson. To Hickey, back to Nelson. His pass knocked aside. Good read there by Schultz. The Islanders get the puck back. Nelson to Hickey. Stripped by Giroux. Giroux after the puck. He's got Voracek with him. Giroux and Voracek. Giroux holds, waits, and tried to drop it back, and Grabner was waiting for it. He's got Strome ahead of the field, but now he'll just carry it up. It's Tavares. Tavares hit across the line. Tavares dangles. Couldn't get a shot off. Good stop there by Schultz. Puck bounces free. Tavares gets it out to Strady. Lost it out to center ice. Schenn forcing him in that direction. 2:10 remaining here in the second period. A 3-1 Philadelphia lead. Islanders need a point to clinch a playoff spot, or if they get help from Pittsburgh, and they're getting it right now.
Voracek close to picking up another point here in the second period. And this is an outstanding pass to Giroux. He touches it there on the backhand, and Lack makes the save. And then Giroux trying to repay him here after eluding the defender of the New York Islanders. He's thinking Voracek all the way. When that closes off, you is in a bad position to make that drop pass.
Almost penalty on Giroux that the Islanders kind of clipped him there coming up the ice because he was in full stride. I would have liked to seen that 2-on-1 with that opportunity.
Shen shot here off a leg to the corner. Couturier upended by Hamonic in the corner. Still got the puck to Reed, who kicks it free. Now Shen back to Couturier. Couturier getting a step on Hamonic around behind the net. Tried to send that back out in front, similar to what he did to Ryan White the other day. That one didn't make it. Here's Reed back out. So White will send it in. And now Couturier worked on by Hamonic again. Back out it goes. Grossman now over on the other side will flip it in, hoping for Couturier. Goes past him. Braden Shen checked by Straight. Ends up with the puck and lobs it out and into the crowd. Got an unsuspecting fan in the chops.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Are you celebrating an upcoming special occasion? Make it extra special with your own VIP space at a Flyers game. There's still time to book your party suite for this Thursday or Saturday's games. Call 215-389-9500. Carolina, and then the Ottawa Senators, who are clinging to their playoff lives. Not the performance they were looking for tonight, down 3-0 to Pittsburgh.
They lose in regulation, and both Detroit and Pittsburgh win. Obviously, Pittsburgh playing Ottawa. I believe Detroit and Pittsburgh will clinch. And Islanders will, so we'd have, would we not, the 8 teams in the East?
So Boston would have
Boston's in the mix, too. Yeah. So at least you'd have to figure out which team's the wild card and which team ends up as the third place team in the division. So Boston's still part of the mix. So Ottawa might not be completely dead.
Yeah, because Boston doesn't play till tomorrow night. So I think the Bruins would keep their hopes alive.
Boston, I think they had a this is going to hurt Ottawa if they don't get out of here if they don't get out of there with a win in Ottawa tonight.
What really hurts them is their loss in the shootout against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
That one point.
That was costly for sure.
They lose all the tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Well, that was almost like a 2-point loss for them.
Vandeveldy. Belmar reaches back, is clearing it, to hit his skate, knocks it back to him, tries again, and it's a skate. There's Boychuk who will get to it. His pass in the middle, finds Oposo. Oposo, up speed, Koliakovo trying to stay with him. Anders Lee will send it around to the other side of the ice. Boychuk is in deep, doing some rough treatment by Vandeveldy. Not once, but twice. 44 seconds in the period. Vandeveldy trying to contain Boychuk. Now it's Oposo. Oposo trying to knife his way to the slot. Flyers collapsed on him. Vandeveldy turned into some traffic, but is able to clear the zone. Now going to try one last rush here. Flyers had other ideas. So 5 seconds remaining in the period. There's Boychuk blasting one all the way down. Mason does that one go off his glove as the second period comes to an end. Each team gets a goal here. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare tallies for the Flyers. Steve Mason again, very good. He stopped 28 shots already here tonight. Tonight's Flyers-Islanders second period was brought to you by Rothman Institute at Jefferson. Exclusive orthopedic and healthcare providers, Philadelphia Flyers. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by your local Chevy dealers. Downstairs we go to Chris Therien as he visits with Pierre-Edouard Bellemare.
Pierre, going to the net pays off for you that period. Vinny Lecavalier got that puck to you quick. What exactly happened in that sequence down in the corner?
Actually, I don't really remember it. I just saw Vinny get it, and then I just skate hard to the net, and Vinny made an unbelievable play to me, and it was an open net.
Tell me about the chemistry on that fourth line. You and Chris Vandeveldy and Vinny have done a great job when you played together. How do you like that makeup?
Well, obviously, a lot of that chemistry comes from Vinny and a lot of advice there. And it's been working most of the time together. And we've been just trying to work hard. And that's as simple a hockey as we can play.
Pierre, thanks very much. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
From the Swedish Hockey League, he is playing some great hockey for the Flyers. Intermission Live, brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers, is next. John Boric and Brian Boucher analyze the second period after this. Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $30 million. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians Players must be 18 years or older. Flyers set to start the third period here. First, though, our GMC NHL update takes you to Ottawa. Huge game between the Penguins and the Senators. 10 seconds into the game. Who else but Sidney Crosby lighting the lamp. That set the tone for the game. It was now up 2-0. It's Crosby, the backhander that bounces high in the air and eventually is tipped home by Patrick Hornquist. The Penguins with a 3-0 lead over the Senators. That game is now in the second period again. The Penguins win that game in regulation. They clinch a playoff spot. And the Detroit Red Wings also could clinch a playoff spot if Ottawa loses in regulation, but the Red Wings have been tied by Carolina in their game at 1. Boston plays tomorrow night. The playoff picture will not be completely clear by the end of tonight, no matter what happens, but it could be significantly more clear than it is right now. Here it's 3-1 Flyers. The Islanders could clinch their own playoff spot by getting just a point out of this game, regardless of what else happens. They need some help otherwise to clinch tonight. Here's Reed. At the center, he is pulled into by Boychuk. Braden Shen pinned by Nick Leddy. Reed, after that puck becomes free, it finally does, but it's Tavares who has it. He'll clink it off last to the neutral zone. Zotto knocks it down there. The Flyers have the numbers. The Flyers have been a very good team in leading after 2. There's Voracek speeding through center. Beats a couple checks. Got the puck to Giroux, but he was checked. Lost it. Tries to get it back. Just too many white jerseys. The Islanders clear. Right back across to Grossman. And now strike. Behind Giroux. Gets those legs moving through center. Gains the line. Swings to the right wing. And then knocks it in along the wall. Grossman lets that go, but nobody was behind him. So strike will have to go back and retrieve. Thinking about a change here. In the middle of the change, in fact. Lecavalier takes that puck. Powers his way in. And then gives to Giroux. Giroux all the way across. That shot by Manning is tipped. Goes high up over the net. Mandevelde checks from behind. And it's Hamonic emerging to the puck. Move it ahead to Bailey. And then out Oposo. Oposo cutting to the middle. Lecavalier checks him from behind. But Oposo carries on. To the boards by Koliakovo. Lecavalier a nice pass to send Belmar up. And he gets the legs moving through center. Mandevelde charges the net. The shot! Save rebound. There, so is Manning. They chop away. It's still loose. No whistle. And finally it is underneath the Islander goaltender. Great work by the Flyers going to the net. Brandon Manning, second chance here tonight, bidding for that first NHL goal.
Makes good reads on the rush. Jumps in here and adds to the offense. He's going to get a scoring chance here on the rebound. A couple of whacks at it there, and you'll watch that puck just squirting around. The Flyers trying to get a stick on it and unable to elevate it high enough.
You're right about Manning, though. He does. He's up there in the play. He joined the rush, and he recognized there's a play at the net. And listen, yeah, it's time, place, and score. And the defenseman's up in the play. As long as you got support behind you, you can get up there and try to get one home. And that's exactly what Manning did. Got good offensive instincts.
A lot of chances in this game. Manning was talking today after the skate about how he enjoys the structure of play at the NHL level, thinks it's actually an easier game to play in that sense than the AHL where it's more scrambling.
I think we'll see that from Robert Hägg as well, who's done a nice job down in the American Hockey League, but I think he's going to be a better National Hockey League player. He's one of those intelligent defensive defensemen that can make that outlet pass, and looking forward to watching him next year in training camp.
There's no doubt, especially for a defenseman, it's easier to play at this level than it is down there because of the scrambliness. Guys doing a little bit too much out of position. Here it's very straightforward, like you said.
There is Manning. That pass deflected. Ronaldo able to come up with it. Ronaldo on the backhand finds Koliakovo, who scores! What a pass by Zach Ronaldo! And Koliakovo buries it. 4-1 Philadelphia. for a case of tasty cake.
This is just an awesome pass by Zach Rinaldo, similar to Sean Couturier's in the last game to Ryan White. And watch this by Ronaldo. It's on the back end, and that's all communication. He actually took a peek around to see who was coming, and Koliakovo gets it right on the tape. Beautiful shot to go along with that pass.
Yeah, and a great job by Koliakovo, Jones. I can hear him down here screaming for the puck, and you can hear that the communication, that allows a guy like Ronaldo with a puck in a position that he's probably not used to making that pass, making it a lot easier, and that's really, really good job by the Flyers.
Koliakovo, unlike his first goal as a Flyer, which he didn't see because he got swatted in the face just after taking the shot, saw that one all the way into the net. There's another shot by the Flyers in Vanderbilt, and grabs that and hangs on. The Flyers defense corps continues to rack up the points here in this game. Koliakovo with a goal, Streit 2 assists, Grossman an assist, so that's 4 more points from Flyer blue liners, and really over the last 25 to 30 games, it's been consistent in terms of production from the blue line.
Yeah, it's just good anticipation. I love what Chris Therien was saying, that you could hear him yelling for that puck over in between the benches, and that's great. You want to hear that. That's a veteran player that's trying to prolong his National Hockey League career, and he's done a nice job with extended minutes here due to injury on the Flyers back end. I know Craig Berube's been very happy with the way Carlo Koliakovo has played.
Well, you think about it, you mentioned this, you alluded to this earlier, the job that Ron Hextall did signing some unheralded players before the season, acquiring the Koliakovos, the Ryan Whites, the Nick Schultz, Michael Del Zotto, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. These are guys who have really had productive seasons in the sense that they've established themselves, for some of them back in the NHL, for others for the first time. Reed wins that one through. I mean, literally some of those guys off the scrap heap, and they've resurrected their careers.
There's not one of those signings that I jumped up and down about saying, wow, this is going to be amazing. And when you watch the seasons that they've had, they've contributed. They've been some steady players back there, and in many of the cases, they have exceeded a lot of expectations.
Big hit there on Schenn by Boychuk. Boychuk is a guy who will throw the odd hip check from time to time. Actually, that was quite a hip check, but he did. Schenn off the puck. Now it's Del Zotto keeping it in, looking for Couturier. Reed reaching forward as well. Reed checked by Tavares. Puck squeezes through strong onto the neutral zone. Just over 4 minutes into this third period. Flyers with 2 in the first and 1 each in the second and the third. Islanders getting 1 goal in the second. 4-1. Philadelphia. It's a pass for Voracek that's intercepted by Okposo. He's checked but carrying out Bailey. Back to Okposo for the shot. Seems to change direction on the way in, and it might have gone wide. I don't know as the person actually ended up getting a piece of that. Here's Anders Lee. Down in the corner by Giroux, picks his pocket, but Bailey is there to try to get it back. Del Zotto comes in, moves it ahead, but not out. Kept in by the Islanders, cutting toward the slot, but losing the puck with Streit. And now the Flyers move up. It's Voracek on a forward here. And as he moves it across the line, finds Streit in front, tipped wide by Raffl, who goes heavily into the post. Gets back up and appears to be okay, although he's reaching for the side of his face. The puck was all the way down the ice.
Another outstanding pass from Voracek, and Streit with a good feed as well. It's a stick or skate of Raffl and off the side of the net.
And White is shot into the midsection of a lock, and he'll hang on. Jake Voracek has 2 points. He could have about 6.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And Michael Raffl paying the price going to the net there. Banged his neck there against the goalpost as he went up and over a lock, and it was another play on the offensive rush. There's Streit with the feed, and there's the kick of Raffl. Not sure if that would have counted or not, but you can see his head goes off the pipe there, and he heads past Chris Therien.
Michael Raffl gave me a look here right next to me on the bench saying that one hurt. It sure did. It looked like it.
Koliakovo shot, save Halak. Rebound. Ronaldo and Cousins were digging for it. It's cleared out to the neutral zone. Koliakovo has it back. Finds Cousins. And he will flutter one into the Islanders zone. Ronaldo will dance to it. Back Ronaldo. Check, but there's White. Back out to Koliakovo. And now in again. Ronaldo reaches to knock it down. Hickey all over him. And wrestle. Stick comes free. It was Hickey's stick. He picks it back up. White a heavy hit. Wisniewski. Cousins the puck to Ronaldo. He does keep it in the zone. He backhands it around behind for White. Standing job by this line to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Cousins emerges from the wall with the puck. Turns with it and fires. It hits the skate and goes to the corner. White and Nelson come together, and White wins the battle. His centering pass, though, deflects, and that'll drift out to center ice. Streit has it there. Ryan White, and then right back to Streit. Streit, realizing there are player changes going, he's trying to occupy this puck as long as he can, and he did so long enough that Bellemare could move the puck deep. Sent along to the line, not out. Grossman will wrist one, deflected, bounces off the skate toward the slot. Finally ahead, and again it's Flyers with just a little more effort than the Islanders. Bellemare sweeping it around behind the net. Vanderbilt takes Leddy in. And the Islanders finally get it back. Here's McDonald, unable to clear cleanly. And the Flyers keep it in. There's Vanderbilt. Pushed from behind. He'll backhand it around behind the net for Lecavalier. Leddy there. Leddy trying to clear. And finally the Islanders get the puck to center. And here's Cizikas. He is stripped. Flyers get it back and clear. 7 minutes into period number 3. Flyers trying to change here as Boychuk will wind it in. Takes a straight top off of Mason. Grossman in the corner. Bellemare, right wing feed Schenn out for the block. Wade and Schenn. Out by white jerseys is checked. And then Storm will move it to center, but right back in comes Couturier. Toward the slot. Hold, shot, save on. And he'll pin that one to his chest. All Flyers here in the third so far.
4-1 Flyers, 12:39 to go. Time to take a look now at the Toyota turning point of this hockey game. And when it was 2-1 back in the second period, Vinny Lecavalier feeds that beautiful pass. Ends up being just an empty net by Bellemare to feed it back. It takes a 3-1 Philadelphia. And that line has been great since they've been together. They've been great again tonight. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare getting a huge goal.
There's the answer to our Jeep trivia question. Last time the Islanders had 100 points, 83-84. Over 3 decades ago. It also happens to be their last Stanley Cup Finals appearance. Part of the end, really, the last Cup win in that dynastic, or actually that was their year they lost Edmonton, that dynastic run that they had, which unfortunately for Flyers fans started with a victory over the Flyers in the finals against Nicholson.
Dynastic's an awesome word.
That is a great word.
I see a lot of dynastic stuff going on in the NHL these days, though.
That's probably why I've never heard the word before.
I'm not even sure it is a word, to be honest with you. Don't check it, though.
Somebody will.
For sure.
It had to be created eventually. I mean, you just did it.
There you go.
Tweet at JJ Flyer.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. 11:45 remaining in this third period. Flyers with a 3-goal lead. Bailey moving in. Bailey off the side, and then out in front they score. Lee hammers it home as the initial push toward the net hit the outside of the post, and it took a bounce right out in front. And Lee ends a goal-scoring drought as he had gone 10 straight without a tally. He has his 24th. And don't go away. Islanders back within 2.
This game matters to the New York Islanders, and as much as the Flyers have dominated this game, the Islanders have had their fair share of scoring chances, and Anders Lee just buries that one. A quick shot, a good goal for his confidence, and the Flyers will have to be aware of the Islanders here in the last 11:39.
Here's the reason why you throw pucks to the net when you got no play, and that's exactly what happens. Anders Lee comes in from behind, finds a rebound, but there's a puck in the net that gave him that opportunity.
Anders Lee, third among all rookies in goal scoring, despite that goal scoring drought that he had been trying to get through here over the last 10 games. Islanders will tell you he's still been getting his chances, just not a lot of puck luck of late. Here's Voracek. Might have forced that one in front of Raffl. Wasn't there. Bounces free behind that. Voracek is there. Takes the hit. Centered it out in front. Neither Raffl or then Giroux could come up with it. The Islanders move back. Grossman trying to cut out Tyler Kennedy, but carrying out is Nelson. Nelson behind the net. Got it out in front. Shot free by Ronaldo and a good defensive play. Behind the net, it's Tyler Kennedy again, the former Penguin. San Jose before making his way to the Island. Pestering Grossman there. Islanders get the puck. Boychuk shot blocked off by Ronaldo, who tries to get to it in center, but with a lunge, Boychuk kept it away from it. Flyers trying to change. Nelson will chop that into the Philadelphia zone. Mason will set it up for Del Zotto. Del Zotto. Backhanded cross-ice pass is intercepted by Hamonic. Hamonic get across the line, centers it to Tavares, into the middle, post that, still loose. Couple Flyers turned away, the puck was still in the slot, and now the Islanders have it. Hamonic shot blocked off by Schultz. Gotten back by Hamonic. To Tavares. Tavares worked down by Delzada, who's very hungry to get this puck out of the zone. Cousins trying to give him some help, but it's Tavares getting it back. Tavares to the point. Straight. Wrister blocked off by Ronaldo, and it goes out of play. Zach Rinaldo's having a heck of a hockey game.
He really is. He's been moving out there. A terrific assist. A couple of shot blocks there. A nice job by Zach Rinaldo. Make next season the year you become a Flyers season ticket member. Lock in your seat now to enjoy an all-new interest-free payment plan through February 2016. Call 215-218-PUCK to get in on the action.
Senators have gotten one goal back on the Penguins in that game up at Ottawa, 3-1.
Can't count them out.
Oh, that
the way
is
they've been
for sure.
fighting. Short-handed goal, too, late in the second period.
That's a huge goal for Ottawa. I just saw that myself, Jonesy. See if they can build any momentum off that. I'm sure nobody in Philadelphia would be too disappointed to see the Penguins miss the playoffs.
Look out, off to draw the shot by Oposo. Save Mason, rebound off of some high sticks. And the puck is cleared. Here's Oposo back for the Islanders. Pass to Hamonic. There's no one to get back on their heels after the Islanders got that second goal. You know, as you said, the Islanders are going to push. Flyers unable to clear. Lee stripped to the puck. Vanderbilt and Bellemare. And then a big hit by Bailey. Pops the puck free again. Mason will sweep it to LeCavalier, who turns with it and fires to Vanderbilt. Moving up with Bellemare. Vanderbilt a wrist shot, and that one handled by Halak. He'll hang on. 9:19 remaining in the third. It's the Flyers 4, the Islanders 2. Flyers doubling up the Islanders. Coming up after the post-game show, Sportsnet Central. Let's get a preview. Out to the studios to Danny Pomels and Ron Burke. Gentlemen.
Hey, JJ, thank you. Coming up following Flyers post-game live on Sportsnet Central presented by Chevrolet. The opener was indeed ugly, but Marshall Harris explores how the Phillies can pick up the pieces and why they will need to with a tough schedule ahead.
You know, LaShawn McCoy's comments about Chip Kelly cause for concern. Plus, Joel Embiid takes a big step in his recovery. That and so much more on Sportsnet Central after our Flyers coverage. But for now, let's go back to JJ Jonesy and Chris Terry.
Thanks very much, guys. Time to take a look now at our Hyundai save of the game. Steve Mason's had a lot of Hyundai saves of the game, and another one here moments ago. He gets this good high shot by Pozo. Can't find it, but it's got enough on it up high to make sure it came down. Good save again by Mason. It's a Hyundai save of the game.
31 saves here tonight. Steve Mason talked about his road struggles, but 14-5-5 here at Wells Fargo Center. As has the team, who's played even better here at home than on the road. And really, the home road splits with the Flyers are remarkable this year.
It's the story, right?
Yeah, it's the story.
One of them. Yeah. I mean, there's that, and then there's the way they play against the good teams as opposed to the teams that aren't quite as good. Wisnowski fires this one in off of Mason, kicks it to the other side, but there's Hickey. He is checked by Raffl. Good play. Giroux will move it up. Looking for forward check, but it's Grabner instead. Grabner's been a healthy scratch of late for the Islanders. You know, he wants to have a good game here as to take advantage of some of the other injuries to get back in the light of the coaches. There's Schultz open.
He's been noticeable in this game. He's been dangerous on a couple of shifts. We got a little icing here as there was a lot of traffic in and around both benches. No too many men on the ice penalty there, but
Vasilevsky. Here is the Eastern Conference playoff picture. And it is suddenly jumbled, especially there for the last spot. You have 3 teams with 95 points. Ottawa trying to get one of them. Catch one of them and pass them before the end of the week. And Ottawa going to come back in their game against Pittsburgh. That puck makes its way out in front as Mason misplayed it off the wall. And it bounces to the corner. There's Schenn across ice. Schultz racing up and poking it out, hoping for Ronaldo. Ronaldo in one hand trying to get it across to Schenn. He does. Turns and fires. And wide and wet as he was firing that one blind on the spin around. What a play by Ronaldo again.
a really nice pass. And the puck was kind of rolling a little bit on Brayden Schenn as he tried to whip it around and find the blocker side.
This one deflects in front to Couturier. Couturier around behind the net and back out to Schultz. Couturier just finessed that one in along. Reed lets it go for Shen. Shen changing direction. Braden Shen stepping in front. Center for Couturier. Had his stick lifted. This line seems to have chemistry. Put Shen on the right wing. And they have had more of an offensive push.
He looks really comfortable on the right side.
Yeah, he'll tell you he feels it too.
You can see he's getting more room. He looks more confident, making some really intelligent plays in the offensive zone. It's something the Flyers will be looking to try again next season, I'm sure.
Icing the call. Of course, you have Voracek and Simmons on the right side already, so it'll be interesting to see how that'll all shake out. The Hart Ross Trophy race. Sidney Crosby has 2 points tonight, a goal and an assist. Jake Voracek 2 assists. Tavares 1 goal. They are now 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and tied for second, if you will. Ovechkin and Benn are not playing tonight. They have 2 games remaining apiece. Ovechkin and Benn, and Crosby, Voracek, and Tavares after tonight will each have 2 games remaining. Hamonic shot. Save Mason. Rebound. Good job by Bellemare. He tied up Bailey, and then he got the puck. Finds Lecavalier, who spins back and then puts one across ice. Hamonic will get that one off the boards. Travis Hamonic. Or Bailey. And now straight to Oposo. Oposo's shot blocked by Grossman. Bounces right to straight, but he couldn't do much with it. And Grossman takes it away from Cavalier, barreled into. But Poliakovo moves the puck ahead to Bellemare. Bellemare. Some air underneath that as he dumps it into the zone. Flyers will change as Hamonic starts back. Go straight. Missing that puck, and Raffl looking for Giroux, missed him. Flyers would have Giroux and Voracek heading toward that outer net with some speed. Raffl run at McDonald. They're gonna, I think, call both players. McDonald really took a run at Raffl, and I thought it was after the puck had left the vicinity that he hit him. Raffl then grabbed McDonald, and I think by all the gesturing going on, we're going to have concurrent minors here.
Yeah, a little contact there. Raffl did not like the hit of McDonald on the original contact here.
Philadelphia Philly number 12, 2 minutes for roughing.
Wow, it's only on Raffl.
Yeah.
Wow, that puck was long gone.
I feel like the ref changed his mind there because he did signal both players originally.
It was only 5 seconds, Jimmy, that the puck was gone for the late hit. No question on the Raffl call, but to think they didn't give one to the Islanders, that's amazing.
I don't know. I mean, what all that gesticulating was about. He did seem like he's pointing
he was
at both
calling
players.
both guys, and then he changed his mind apparently.
Yeah.
So, big moment in this game. They deserve it or not. The Islanders have a power play, a chance to get within 1. Here's Reed up the middle. Lob pass for Couturier. Didn't connect, but I said clear anyhow. Leddy goes back. The Islanders have scored on their power play in this game. 5th opportunity. Tavares. Delzato knocked down. It's allowed as the puck goes to the corner. Strome will get it out to Leddy. Bouncing puck, he handles it. In for Tavares. Couldn't come up with it cleanly. There's Lee in there. It's a sweep at it, but the Islanders get it back to Leddy. Cross for Oposo. Pivots. Gets it back out to Leddy. Outside Strome. Strome holding on. Tavares behind that. He's very dangerous here. Gets that puck back to Strome. And now it's Leddy. On the horn they go with it to Oposo. His shot blocked off by Delzato. Tavares pass deflects out to the neutral zone. Flyers will get some fresh legs on the ice.
Really good job by Michael Delzato, and that shot off his inside of his leg stung him. He still had enough effort in him to find that loose puck and send it down the ice.
43 seconds on the power play. Wisnowski to Nelson. Nelson rolls it deep. Mason will stop it. Grossman drills it, but it's knocked down by Bailey. Bounces side of the net. A sweep by Mason, but the Islanders tip it back to Hamonic. Cross for Wisnowski. And now Hamonic center point. Deals it. The shot by Nelson blocked by Grossman. Puck deflects to the north, racing over Vandeveldy. Can't get there. Centering pass tipped by Bellemare. Bounces to Wisnowski. Forced by Manning. Wisnowski turns back to Hamonic, who will wind and break his stick on the shot. Nelson behind the net. McDonald drew the penalty. Got it back out. Here's the shot. Wisnowski blocked. And that was Vandeveldy, who has become a heck of a penalty killer. The power play is over. The penalty killers get the job done for the Flyers. Remains a 4-2 game, 4:25 remaining here in the third. Nick Schultz lines it in. Giroux from behind the net. Voracek knocked down, and then Giroux tumbles over Voracek. They get the puck back to Schultz. They'll wind and fire that shot deflected out of play. 9 seconds, more than 4 minutes remaining. Flyers Islanders game is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. By Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buytoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. 4-2, Flyers with the lead. 4:09 remaining in the third period. A shout out to our technical director, Barry Sell. Lead audio mixer, Mike Giacalone as well, and all the others that helped you bring the sights, sounds of Flyers hockey here on Comcast Sportsnet. And Keith Jones, your final broadcast of the season. You'll be very busy with NBC
Miss
and
you guys,
NBCSN.
man.
Yes, we'll miss you, but we'll enjoy your coverage of the playoffs. Wish the Flyers were involved, but we'll wait for next year for that. Should be a very interesting tournament.
Yes, it will be. There's no question about it. Have to see if the LA Kings find a way to get into the playoffs. They've got their work cut out for them here in the last couple of games.
Must win for them tonight.
It is.
No other way around that one.
And if they don't, then we'll be looking to crown a new Stanley Cup champion.
Islanders get the puck into the Flyers zone here.
Watch out for Winnipeg. That's all I'm saying.
They're up tonight already, 1-0 on the St. Louis Blues.
They are the dark horse, in my opinion, of the playoffs.
Not sure I trust their goaltending.
Oh, that's of course the way it's been, for sure.
Yeah. Couturiers cross-ice pass here for Reed. Reed forcing it back for the Islanders. They need a rally here to earn a playoff spot mathematically on their own. They could still get it. If Ottawa loses in regulation time.
3-2 game now. Ottawa.
3-2.
They've never goes away. That's amazing. Pittsburgh's getting tight now.
That'll be interesting. Here's Hamonic getting the puck into the zone. Right. Puts the puck into the corner. Josh Bailey after it. Bailey trying to maneuver through, but he was stopped. Right. By the way, hit the 50-point mark here tonight with his 2 assists. First 50-point Flyer defenseman since a guy by the name of Chris Pronger. 2010. Here's Voracek. Sent it toward the net. Sticked away by Halak. And then had some contact. Not a lot, but a little with Raffl. Poso sends an aerial shot in on Mason. Got it to Kolyakova, but really it was a bouncing puck. Kolyakova had trouble with that. It bounces out. Vandevelde and Manning collide in front of the net, but they live to tell about it. Here's Voracek trying to spring Giroux. He's got an empty net to fire at Giroux. And the shot blocked aside by Hickey. Goaltender pulled for the Islanders with 2:20 to go in the third. Giroux with 2 goals in this game. Manning ahead. Voracek tips, but not out of the zone. Second try. Vandevelde, or Belmar actually, he could not get it out of the zone. Manning. Check in the corner. Nelson spins it back around. There's Hickey. Back into the corner. Islanders trying to get that from the point. It actually ricochets behind the net to Cizikas. Hidden to the boards by Belmar. Snapped up the wall by Manning, but this one's going to go all the way down the ice. It's dying, but it is still going to crawl across the line. Icing is the call. 1:48 remaining in the third.
See if Craig Berube uses his timeout here or not. He already used it, actually, so he can't. Top shelf performers, our Mazda top shelf performers. John Tavares, 36 goal of the season. Anders Lee picks up his first in a while. 24 in the year, though. A terrific season for him. Giroux's got a couple of Voracek and straight 2 assists apiece, and Mason outstanding once again.
Draw here to the left of Mason. Face-offs very close in this game, and they'll do this one over. Elmar. Jason Tavares has improved on his face-offs. Last year or two has Tavares. Over 50% now. And he wins this one, going to need to do so. The shot by Boychuk, they score! And the Islanders are within 1 with 1:44 to play. A lot of traffic in front of Mason, and the puck winds up in the net.
Heavy shot from Johnny Boychuk, and he does a nice job of getting that puck through the traffic. Voracek trying to get out there, and Voracek was out there for an extended shift, and that puck just gets past his attempt to block it and goes blocker side on Mason.
Yeah, C&I shot here, Jonesy. Look at Boychuk. Just kind of steps into it here, just heaves a prayer towards the front of the net, and his prayers are answered as it falls through to everybody, including Steve Mason.
9th of the year for Boychuk, who already has a career high in points for the season. Goaltender back in for now for the Islanders. They'll try to get locked back to the bench as they move up the ice here. He's fouling the team to center as the puck is dumped in. Alzado flings, and that one all the way down the ice. Icing the call, and the Islanders get the offensive zone draw.
The Flyers take on the Carolina Hurricanes this Thursday. It's a 7 o'clock start. Then they'll square off against the Ottawa Senators this Saturday at 12:30. Reserve your tickets now at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
The goaltender pulled for the 6-on-5 again. Islanders trying to tie this thing up. They win the draw. Leddy to Strome, and out Tavares. Tavares given some room, sends it silently to redirect to save. Mason punched back through Schenn, a chance to clear, and he sneaks it out to center. Reed cannot reach it. It's Leddy instead. 65 seconds remaining in regulation. That puck deflects into the Philadelphia bench. Got a piece of a Flyer there. Mark Streit.
Yep. In right up on Mark Streit there. He grabs a towel, but I think it hit him in the chest. No, they can cut him. Craig Berube comes out with Jake Voracek, and Claude Giroux looks like timeout for the New York Islanders here. And there's Mark Streit fixing the visor up a little bit. And his 50-point season continues here.
And as we were talking about, with scoring down in the NHL, 50 points for defensemen means quite a bit.
It does. And you can see Doug Weight there, who does a terrific job in the special teams department, of especially power play, a gifted player and a center iceman when he played. He's trying to draw up a play here, and all eyes for Flyer fans are on Jake Voracek, hoping he gets a point here with that Islander empty net.
Tavares, by the way, did get an assist on that Boychuk goal, so he has another point to his total. That race is going to be something the rest of this week. All right, they'll drop the puck right at the center ice. That to the timeout. Flex free. Back toward the Philadelphia line. Schultz off the glass, got it to center. Raffl is there. Cross ice, Voracek with the empty net. He waits, and his shot is blocked, and it's back toward the Philadelphia zone. Bailey able to keep the puck in the zone as Giroux could not clear. Schultz up the wall. Boychuk kicks it into the corners. Home getting it to Bailey. Now it's forced to the wall. Now Raffl looking for Voracek again. Couldn't get it to him. A sliding play. Now it's ahead to Voracek through him and all the way down. And they call it icing. Icing the call. The face-off into the Philadelphia zone.
It's amazing, isn't it?
What a wild sequence that was. Yeah, you're right.
Voracek has that chance for that empty net, and Craig Berube has to look on here with some anxious moments of waiting.
Voracek just over to my right here. I saw the empty net. I had the big eyes for him too, and just blocked right out of the blue.
Tavares and Giroux again on this face-off. And Tavares won it in front. They score! Lee beating Mason. The Islanders tie it at 4 with 28 seconds remaining. A breakdown right off the draw.
It's an unbelievable play by Tavares. He pretends he's going to pull it back and goes right through Claude Giroux. It's a set play for the New York Islanders, and that's why their bench exploded. They must have seen this one in practice. Watch this play. Giroux did have a piece of it, and Tavares knows exactly where that puck's going. Anders Lee, we talked about his confidence level, and he picked two up here in the third period.
Two really great minds for centermen in this league are Claude Giroux and John Tavares, and they're up at the top of the league lead for a reason point-wise, but this is just a marvelous play by Tavares, Jonesy. As you said, going first. To push it like that and get it to Lee, brilliant.
That's why he might very well be a Hart Trophy nominee. And so the Islanders have come all the way back and tied this game. They've trailed pretty early. This regulation's not over. Flyers need to finish this off. 10 seconds remaining. Couturier in center. Move it to Brayden Schenn. Schenn shot. Score! He scored! 2.1 remaining. Halak boots it. And Brayden Schenn puts the Flyers on top. Can you believe it? They had it all the time.
That was easy.
Wow!
You can see the look on the Islander bench and the fans here in Philadelphia. Something to cheer about, and that man is not happy. Getting close to heading to the playoffs. This is not a goal that Jarl Halak wants to think about for very long. It's an awful one.
It doesn't get any worse.
Whoa, and the implications of that goal in terms of number 41 Psyche heading toward the playoffs.
It's awesome. And the former Capital goaltender briefly last year helps out the Capitals here.
Couturier and Streit the assist. Schenn, his 18th goal of the year. The NHL's second star of the week last week wins the game for the Flyers. 19:57, the official time. And the Flyers blow a lead but win a game. 5-4 is your final. 7 straight games with a point for the Flyers. They continue to pile up wins against playoff position teams, and they prevent the Islanders from clinching a playoff spot, at least for right now.
Yeah, that one just like the coach drew up, right? A nice last-second goal after having a 4-1 lead evaporate, and the Flyers find a way to win. Brayden Schenn ends up with the game-winning goal, and stay tuned to the New York Islanders here down the stretch. This one stings, especially with the way that they battled back in this game, and Jarl Halak is going to be relied on heavily in round number 1 of the playoffs.
Remember, all they had to do is get to overtime to clinch that playoff spot, so they were 2.1 seconds remaining, and the reaction right there of Coach Jack Capuano says it all. Downstairs we go. Chris Terry is with the guy who just won the game for the Flyers.
Thanks very much, Brayden. You've had quite a week, right?
Yeah.
Second star in the NHL this week. Found out yesterday morning. First of all, tell me about that goal. What were you thinking?
To be honest, I knew there was under 5 seconds left and tried to shoot through the D-man's legs, and I don't know how that went in, but definitely take that goal.
It's a case sometimes where things kind of go your way. Sometimes they don't go your way as a player in this league. I have to say that things are going your way right now.
Yeah, bouncing my way right now. Chemistry with the line's been pretty good, and it's a long season. You're going to have your ups and downs, and hopefully I'm, like I told myself, just trying to finish strong and end out the year on a positive note.
You've said of late that you feel very comfortable at right wing. Tell me about that. I know you're up and right when you're with Giroux and Voracek. What's been different lately for you?
I think just with Simmons being out, obviously you never want a guy to go down, and there's an opportunity for me to be on the right side. Never played it before, and had some success with Couturier and Reed playing the left wing earlier this year, and things seem to be going their way right now. So 2 games left here to play with some pride and trying to end on a positive note.
Brayden, great job today. Another game winner with 3 seconds to go. Congratulations on that big effort again by you tonight.
All right, thank you.
Let's take a look at our Bud Light player of the game, and why not? Brayden Schenn. Sure. Anybody that ruins a division team's night, we'll give him the Bud Light player of the game, and that's exactly what Brayden Schenn does there. That's a little bit of an odor on that one for Jarl Halak, and Brayden Schenn's got a big smile on his face, and this fan is not happy. He's sweating a little bit.
Yeah, there were some Islander fans here. They were set to celebrate clinching a playoff berth. They were 2.1 seconds away from it. Brayden Schenn had other ideas. Well, the Flyers are back here on home ice on Thursday night as they'll look to make it 8 consecutive games with points. They host the Carolina Hurricanes. Our coverage begins with Flyers pregame live at 6:30. They'll drop the puck just after 7 o'clock here in South Philadelphia. Here tonight, the Flyers get the job done. Couple more points for Jake Voracek and last-second heroics from the red-hot Brayden Schenn. The producer for Flyers hockey is Brian Cooper. And tonight, Beth Ely, associate producer Carl Graber, and our director Mike Hawley. Great job, Beth. For Keith Jones and Chris Terry, and I'm Jim Jackson. Once again, the final score: the Flyers 5, the Islanders 4. Great working with you, Jonesy. Stay tuned for Flyers postgame live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance.